Please be seated. Good evening. I'm Hal Higdon, Chancellor of the Ozarks Technical Community College System. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa Spring Induction Ceremony. It's one of my favorite days of the year is when we induct new members into Phi Theta Kappa. For your friends and family that are with you, we have now come to know what you already know. These are the best and brightest that we have at OTC. So we're really proud of our inductees, but we're just as proud of the support groups and the friends and family that are here with them tonight. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to the program, and we're excited for you tonight. And I'm hearing the thunder outside, so I'm glad we all got in before it's wet, but I think we'll all be wet when we leave, so the timing is really good. So it's my pleasure to have you here tonight, and congratulations to each of our inductees. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Higdon. My name is Micah Schaefer, and I'm honored to serve as the Vice President of Campus Promotions for the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. I'd like to introduce to you our honored guests on the stage. First is Dr. Hal Higdon, who welcomed us this evening. Dr. Hal Higdon serves as the Chancellor for Ozarks Technical Community College. Next, Dr. Tracy McGrady, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at Ozarks Technical Community College. Jordan Schreiber, Director of Admissions for Ozarks Technical Community College, and our guest speaker for this evening. Amelia Lai, Vice President of Scholarship for the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. Darla Wilson, Editor-in-Chief of The Pinnacle, the student publication for the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. In addition to these guests, I'd like to recognize our other Alpha Psi Tau chapter and Heartland region officers, our chapter advisors, and honor staff in attendance tonight, who have dedicated a great deal of their time and their hearts to Phi Theta Kappa this year. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Stephanie Cruz, Chapter Vice President of Service. Maggie Levitt, Chapter Vice President of Virtual Promotions. Jessica Schneewise, Chapter Secretary. Autumn Seeley, Chapter Vice President of Fellowship. Five Sheridan, Chapter Treasurer. Robert Thomas Gummerson, Heartland Region Vice President of Leadership. Chapter Advisors, Todd Yerby and Cassidy Bright. Honors Office Staff, April Bollinger, Tiffany Keith, Dee Lancaster, Faith Poplar, and Trinity Roop. Additionally, if you are a current member of Phi Theta Kappa, a member being inducted this evening, or a Phi Theta Kappa alumnus, please stand. All of those standing before you are instrumental in the success of the Alpha Psi Tau chapter. Through scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship, these individuals are bonded by their academic achievement, participation, and support for the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. Please give them a round of applause.
Jordan Schreiber currently serves as the College Director of Admissions for OTC. Throughout the past 7 years, Jordan has served in several capacities at OTC, including Admissions Representative, Director of Student Recruitment, and an adjunct instructor in the Humanities and Fine Arts Department. Jordan graduated from OTC in 2010 with an Associate of Arts degree. She has the distinction of being the very first graduate from the OTC Honors Program. In 2012, she graduated with a bachelor's degree in religious studies from Missouri State University, and in 2015, she received her master's degree in religious studies, also from Missouri State University. Throughout her education and career, Jordan has found a passion in serving the underserved and disadvantaged members of our community. Where there is no path forward, she finds a way to create one. She spearheaded OTC's Second Chance Pell Program, offering educational opportunities to incarcerated individuals. She also worked to promote the Fast Track Workforce Incentive Grant to help adults return to college and advance their careers. Finally, Jordan has led the charge of implementing OTC's Student Success Initiative in admissions, providing every student with an admission counselor that they can turn to for help navigating the college environment. On a personal note, once upon a time, Jordan was a student of mine. There is nothing more gratifying to a teacher than to see one of their students excelling at making the world better for others. Today, I am honored to work alongside Jordan as a colleague and grateful to have her as a friend. Please welcome OTC Director of Admissions, Jordan Schreiber.
Thank you, Dr. McGrady. Good evening, Phi Theta Kappa inductees. Congratulations on your induction into this prestigious honor society. I'm honored to be speaking with you today, and I am excited to share some thoughts with you about the power of connection. As high-achieving students, I can only imagine that you probably have strong opinions about group assignments. When nothing less than a high grade will do, you feel compelled to take the initiative of researching, outlining, drafting, and preparing a presentation. And when your team inevitably doesn't live up to your standard, you spend more time researching, outlining, drafting, and preparing a presentation, often the night before it is due. This experience can sour attitudes and lead to anger towards our peers. 15 years ago, I was that student. I resented my peers, and quite frankly, my instructors, for allowing my success to be in someone else's hands. I can think of one particular incident in which I was sitting in Dr. McGrady's public speaking class, moments before my group was getting ready to present, and I looked over at one of my group mates who was furiously drawing on a sheet of notebook paper. I am sure the look on my face was not pleasant when he said that he forgot to bring the product portion of our presentation, but it would be fine because he was drawing it with a pencil on a sheet of notebook paper, minutes before the presentation. Cool. Flash forward 7 years and many group projects later to just after my graduation with my master's degree. As the feelings of pride and accomplishment waned, I felt the all too familiar feeling of existential dread creeping in. Since I was in kindergarten, my grades had defined me. They were a concrete way of showing my worth to myself and the world around me. I would be lying if I didn't say that I am still a little bitter about the B+ I received in the 3rd grade in handwriting. True growth takes time. I wasn't sure how to take the next step. How do I get an employer to see my worth if GPA is just one bullet on a resume? How will they know my commitment to helping others, creativity, communication skills, and most importantly, my charm and sense of humor? How do I get someone to take a chance on me? Then something miraculous happened. A former instructor of mine, Debbie Thompson, emailed me to let me know that OTC was having an adjunct fair. Unfortunately, I didn't get the email until the morning of the fair, so I found myself frantically trying to update my resume and cover letter as I hoped I had something semi-professional and clean to wear. When I finally got to OTC, I thought about turning around and not going in. I felt underprepared and inadequate. I got up the courage though, because being able to pay your bills is nice, and walked through the door. As I came into the building, standing in front of me was Dr. Tracy McGrady, my former public speaking instructor. Dr. McGrady greeted me warmly and offered to take me to the table for the Humanities and Fine Arts department. She introduced me to the department chair and told her about the connection we had from my time as an OTC student. To this day, I'm convinced that I would not have started my career journey at OTC had Ms. Thompson and Dr. McGrady not helped me out with securing the adjunct position. Throughout the next 7 years of my career after I was hired at OTC, there would continue to be times that I would call upon the social capital that I had built with my many colleagues, mentors, and friends that would help me advance in my career and push towards the goals I had set for myself. Whether it was advice on how to supervise employees, brainstorming about a new idea, or an office to cry in when the to-do list is just a little too overwhelming, I have relied on and cherished the connections I have with my peers and mentors. It is through the professional and personal connections that I have made that I have been challenged to think differently, try something new, or just check myself when I'm a little too fired up about something. So, having given you a brief overview of my personal journey, I have both good and bad news for you. The good news is that throughout your academic and professional life, you will have a vast array of people who want to see you succeed and want to help you make the connections that will keep you moving forward. The bad news is that no matter how hard you try, you can't do it alone. Your success is a group project. And sometimes you are the one drawing the picture on the piece of notebook paper, trying desperately not to fail. When we embrace the idea that life is a group project, we open ourselves up to a whole new world of possibilities. We recognize that we have something to offer and that others have something to offer us. We learn to collaborate, communicate, and compromise. We develop empathy, compassion, and gratitude. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy to work with others. There will be times when we disagree, when we feel frustrated, when we wonder if it's worth it. But those moments are precisely when we need to remember that we are all in this together. We need to take a deep breath, listen to each other, and remember that we are working towards a common goal. So my friends, let me leave you with this thought. Life is a group project. Embrace it, celebrate it, and most importantly, remember that you are never alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm proud tonight to recognize some very special people. Our PTK students have the opportunity to nominate OTC instructors and staff who have contributed in some significant way to their educational goals and who have served as mentors and guides in their pursuit of academic excellence. The individuals being honored tonight are listed in your program. And for those of you mentors who are in attendance, please stand and remain standing. Our PTK mentors include Michael Adamick, Dr. Jason Back, Dr. David Ball, Michael Borich, Patrick Casey, Chelsea Kozort, Martha Kreis, Andrew Crocker, Shirley Marie Dobbs, Jennifer Dunkel, Heather Eberlin, Dr. Vivian Elder, Wendy Eno, Crystal Fears, Sarah Gamble, Kara Griffin, Dr. Christine Harris, Dr. Michelle Hedgens, Daniel Kopsis, Kirsten Markley, Jill Meese, Tony Phillips, Dr. Morgan Presley, Donna Rebman, Savannah Shields, Dr. Michaela Steinmetz-Benton, Becky Stevens, Dr. Faith Swickard, Barry Talbot, Shauna Thompson, Richard Wells, and Aaron Wright. That was a long list. These individuals have served as an inspiration for our students here tonight, and I'm pleased to present them to you this evening. Let's give these mentors a round of applause for the lives they've impacted. Mentors, you may be seated.
Fellow Phi Theta Kappa members, I am pleased to present to you these candidates for membership in our honor society. These students have fulfilled all requirements for membership and have been selected because they have chosen scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship as their hallmarks. I recommend them for acceptance into the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and receive them in their lifelong pursuit of scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship.
You are about to be inducted into a scholarly fellowship which embraces community colleges not only of your own state, but of the nation and the world. This fellowship is Phi Beta Kappa, and your chapter is Alpha Psi Tau. After induction, you will find among the members an atmosphere of scholarship to which you must give of yourself in order that the organization may be meaningful to you.
I have in my hand a torch, symbolic of knowledge, which is the servant of wisdom, which dwells with prudence and leads in the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of judgment. Here we also have the white rose, typifying purity and beauty of life, with its white buds signifying intellectual associations.
This is the emblem of Phi Theta Kappa. It consists of a golden slab, keyed at the top and bottom. The golden field, like the escutcheon of our coat of arms, refers to the golden opportunities that abound on every hand for society folk to evidence their culture and perform good works. Since gold is the most noble of metals, it shall have a further significance to our society, for it shall represent that nobility attained by those who achieve intellectual leadership. Across the slab you will observe a black band. It represents the three ideals that bind us together, and the cultural self-control that is the necessary foundation for true wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Shining through the black enamel background are the three Greek letters, which are the initials for the Greek words meaning wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Behind the band is a wreath, on one side composed of oak leaves, and on the other, laurel. The oak leaves stand for stability and strength of character, as symbolized by the sturdy oak. The graceful curling leaves of the laurel signify achievement and success, all attributes for membership in our society. Above the band is the representation of the head of Athena, a symbol of learning. In the base appear the letters meaning light, the light of knowledge and learning, the common ideal for members of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. This badge stands as a symbol for the high idealism of our organization and membership in our select group. You have studied the constitution of this organization, the purpose of which is to foster a spirit of devotion to study and to scholarly ideals among its members, and whose principles are embodied in the Greek letters which stand for phronimon, thumos, katharos, wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Would tonight's inductees please stand? Now that the standards and ideals of this organization have been fully revealed to you, you come to complete the pledge which admits you into a complete fellowship. Repeat after me. I, state your name, do solemnly promise on the 4th day of April 2023 to uphold the standards of Phi Theta Kappa, to keep this object and aim in mind, and I do solemnly pledge allegiance to my fellow members, and promise to aid them in all worthy endeavors. I would now ask for PTK inductees to make their way to the stage to be recognized.
Wayne Thomas. Michelle Granados. Travis Kester. Jonah Blake. Mariah Haslett. Arlena Golden. Caden Red. Daniel Sider. Mallory Grant. Isabella Fryer. Ariel Brown. Mitchell Eddings. Malaya Sweet. Casey Gosley. Portland Lloyd. Emily Crabtree. Tori Freeman. Hunter Allison. Ashley Hash. Josie West. Tiffany Trogdon. Jensen Iams. Clarissa Fogelquist. Bethany Bryers. Mara Skinner. Reese Brockman. Eden Burton. Tara Reeves. Crystal White. Caden Justice. Jessica Edwards. Rebecca St. John. Amanda Felmley. Jared Henry. Nicholas Shaven. Lawrence Penrod. Stephen Espias. E. Tom. Nicole Hetzel. Tanner Lattiser. Ryan Medlock. Carrick Ray. Cheryl Ferry. Jessica Clement.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and the lively fellowship of scholars it affords. I salute you for your accomplishment. I charge you to explore all ways for truth and to dedicate yourselves to the cultivation of well-reasoned life, a prelude to service and honor. Let's give our inductees a round of applause.
As Alpha Psi Tau Chapter Vice President of Scholarship this past year, it has been my pleasure to serve along with my fellow officers in the endeavors of Phi Theta Kappa. I will always be a member of Phi Theta Kappa, and my fellow officers and I will remember this special time of service to our peers and our society with fondness. But the time has come to pass the torch to the next generation of community college student leaders in Alpha Psi Tau. Well, Ariel Brown, Daniel Sider, Mitchell Eddings, Izzy Fryer, Mull Grant, Robert Thomas Gummersell, Kirsten Kiger, and Malaya Sweet, please stand. As newly selected officers of Alpha Psi Tau, you are charged with the responsibility of learning the duties of your office and executing those duties to the best of your ability. Please repeat after me. I, state your name, do solemnly promise to fulfill to the best of my ability my duties as an officer of the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. You are duly recognized as the executive officers of the Alpha Psi Tau chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. We pledge the support of the members of this chapter to you.
As we close the ceremony, I want to thank all the members and supporters of Phi Theta Kappa and all our guests in the audience as we have honored our new inductees. Some of you may know that Phi Theta Kappa began in 1918 in the state of Missouri, and our newest members here tonight carry on the legacy in our home state, a legacy that has grown into the Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society of two-year colleges with over 3.5 million members in the United States and in 10 sovereign nations. Students, you and your guests are welcome to take pictures on stage after the ceremony. Before we leave this evening, I'd like to thank you again for being here to celebrate our newest PTK inductees. OTC is proud to have such a strong and vibrant chapter, and we look forward to continuing our support of their great work. Good night.